Autre fait important constaté, le docteur Stephen Greer relate l'implication du gouvernement français lors du National Press Club à Washington, D.C.
Now, I have 12 grandchildren. What kind of world are we going to leave them if we don't fix this problem? Because it involves peace, and we have to work towards contact that is in a peaceful paradigm. We have launched a very controversial project, as I get attacked the most for, the CE5, or Close Encounter of the Fifth Kind contact program, as sort of an experimental, community-based outreach to these civilizations. We have had a number of extraordinary contact experiences. This is sort of a prototype that the French government during the presidency of Sarkozy asked us to demonstrate, and we set up an operation in France that was protected, where we did have events take place. I think we have to begin to ask, what can we do as a civilian government where we don't try to militarize and weaponize everything we don't understand? Because here's the problem. If you're a hammer, the whole world's a nail. And so we have to get this disclosed properly so that our brighter scientists, our academics, our political leadership, and our diplomats and the citizens can take the lead on this issue rather than an illegal and clandestine operation that is a threat to national and world security. Thank you for your attention.
Très récemment, le 10 juillet 2023, le Dr Stephen Greer parle de l'implication d'enfants dans les programmes secrets. Ces derniers sont sélectionnés pour leur capacité psychique. Je constate encore une corroboration avec ce que dit Jean-Charles Moyen depuis plusieurs années concernant son histoire. Encore un hasard? Je ne crois pas.
The Stargate program. During your last interview, I saw a lot of comment. There's two programs that I would like you to explain before we dive into the nuts and bolts of what we're going to. A lot of questions about the Stargate program. Can you enlighten us?
Well, you'd have to describe it. That name is not a code word that I've been introduced to from a reliable inside source person who knows.
Okay.
So here's, just to give you an idea of my discipline.
Well, I appreciate the honesty. Thank you.
So if somebody has told me about an operation, whether it's a code word, code numbered, or just a general project that I know has the credentials and we know he was involved directly, firsthand, not second, third, fourth hand gossip over the internet, then I will speak to that. But now if you describe to me what people think Stargate is, I can comment on whether it's got any legitimacy.
Well, from what I've read, people are saying that the Stargate program is doing some kind of experimentation with kids.
Oh, well, I mean, it has a different name, but absolutely that's true. And as you know, Mr. Herrera, the Marine who was at our conference, who I think you'll be speaking with soon, he came across such an operation. He initially thought they were transporting in this man-made UFO drugs. They certainly had weapons, illegal weapons that they were distributing. But those crates that our forensic aerospace artist drew, or we had a knock who was there, who had been involved in an operation after that. And those were transporting children and women and certain men who had certain capabilities that would be used in experimental projects here and in other countries. It's a monstrous program. There's a man who lives right near here who was a CIA operative and was very young, was one of these victims of this, and he wants to come forward, but he's quite frightened. He's already signed affidavits about it. But there's a CIA black site 160 not far from Nashville that was involved in some of these operations, mostly drugs and drug running, but also trafficking.
So it's a human trafficking operation. It's part of Stargate.
Yeah, but you have to understand what it's for. It's not for, shits and giggles, excuse me. It's rather, I have to say, some of these projects, they're very disturbing. And I don't know how much people want to hear this, but
they want to hear it.
It will keep you awake at night. If you have children like I do. But they're used in very specific operations, and they're selected for certain capabilities, particularly psi capabilities. Okay, and those are used in projects that these illegal projects are running for the purpose of communication.
So what's coming to my mind right now is remote viewing.
Yes.
Is that involved in this?
But in a very high-tech way, technologically. Most of the subjects die as a consequence of what they're made to do. But they have certain aptitudes and abilities for which they are screened, and then they are abducted and taken. Now, keep in mind, this is also, there are a lot of operations that are related to this.